Guys, welcome to our weekly podcast. Really do appreciate you joining. If you do have any questions, feel free to raise your hand. I can see a lot of people raising their hands. Don't drop your hand. We will get to you eventually. Firstly, huge shout out to Chris. Chris is an experienced personal trainer with over a decade years worth of experience. He's going to be helping you answer your questions. So we'll start off with the first person who did raise their hand, Abe. How are you doing, Abe? Welcome. Feel free to ask your question, mate.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you. How you doing?
Good. I just got a PowerTech workbench recently, and I was wondering where I could find a good plan for working out.
In general, working out, we've got a automated system in the server area. What's the command for the routines?
Yes, so it's explanation mark routines, so you can get as much routines as you want. And you can also check out Boostcamp. Boostcamp is pretty much a platform where a bunch of personal trainers, someone already typed that. Thank you, Lobsterman, really do appreciate it. Where you can get, where you can get a lot of workout routines made by personal trainers, fitness influencers, etc., etc. You can filter on the one that matches your routine, the days that you can work out, the days that work for you, and your goals, whether you want to build strength, whether you want to lose weight, etc., etc. Or if you want a more bespoke routine, you can reach out to your very own Chris, and he can sort you out.
Okay, so what were those two platforms again?
Boostcamp, and the commands are going to be in the voice chat or the podcast chat. So if you look at the podcast chat, you see the links. It should take you directly to them. And don't worry, they're all completely free, so you don't have to pay for anything. Just look for the ones that you like that match your routine, your days that you can work out, and your goals, and you should be okay.
All right, thank you.
No worries, mate. And if you do need a bespoke one, reach out to Chris. Chris is has got experience, so DM him, and he can probably put together a custom one for you if you do need one. Perfect. Next person is, I'm streaming, so the names aren't showing properly. It just says C ... How you doing, dude? Wait, did he join and leave? Or did he disconnect?
Or something. Maybe come back, we'll see.
Yeah, I think he might have disconnected. Next person is Gio. Guys, feel free to raise your hand if you do have any questions. No questions is too small or too big or too silly. Gio, how you doing?
Yo, hello. How are you?
Yeah, doing well. How are you, man?
I'm fine too. Okay, so I'll get to my question. So I know the general recommendation on how far you should bulk is 20% body fat, but I'm pretty sure I could realistically go slightly beyond that. Now, how far you reckon I can allow myself to go before it really becomes a health issue?
Okay, good question. I will say, as I always do, numbers for body fat percentage are always an estimate. They don't really mean very much. Honestly, if you want to push the bulk, you can do it for short term. It's not going to have any serious health ramifications. If you want to push it a bit harder, if you want to get a bit more mass, don't go a full, Bruce Randall, I think, like a full, go up to 400-pound bulk. I wouldn't recommend that for health, but if it's for a short term, under 6 months, I think that's absolutely fine to push it. If you are, again, being conscious of gaining weight and getting stronger, gaining muscle, and not just purely chasing the scale. If you're happy to push it a bit further, it's just how comfortable you are. So obviously, if you start gasping for air, if you start getting lightheaded all the time, if you can't handle any stairs, stuff like that, I then reevaluate. But it's honestly just down to a personal preference. In the short term, gaining extra weight is not going to make a huge difference as long as you get it off and then get your cardio up afterwards.
Okay, now a question about cutting. I've heard a lot of stuff from Doc specifically and other PTs in the server about how once you get off a bulk, you can. I know the general recommendation is just to get on a 200 to 500 calorie deficit. I've heard ideas or just suggestions that you could start off with a more aggressive deficit and then slowly lower it down to 500. Like when I'm saying a lot, let's say 1,000 calorie deficit, just to start up for the first few weeks.
Are you saying is this a good idea?
Is it a good idea for me to do that, let's say in like 6 months?
I think it really depends where your maintenance calories are to start with and how much a big difference it goes from the surplus into the deficit. For example, if you're doing a, say, 500 calories surplus for a long time, then you go to maintenance, say, just first numbers out there. If your maintenance is, make it easy, 2,000 calories, you've been bulking at 2,500. Are you recommending, are you saying, should I go to a 1,000 calories after that or 1,500? Because I want a different, are you talking about 1,000 between the bulk numbers or your maintenance numbers?
No, from maintenance down. So not from the bulk numbers to start.
Yeah.
So basically 1,000.
Sorry, go ahead.
Not 1,500, 1,000. If my maintenance is 2,000.
The question is, you can do that if you want to, but where do you then go after that? And I don't recommend such a dramatic cut. I think you should probably go to maybe 500. I think the difference is a factor on a lot of things. I wouldn't recommend 1,000 calories just because as a number, that's about £2 a week, something like that. It's not very sustainable for a long period. I guess if you do it for a short term and then almost build that back up a bit, that could be possible. Almost in that way. Maybe if you go down to 1,000 and then after a couple of weeks, after you got a lot of weight off, add an extra 500 and slow down the cut. That is a viable way to do it. If you wanted to make a big dramatic difference, that's what I'd recommend instead of doing 1,000, because after that, you can't really go anywhere down beyond that.
That's what I was suggesting. Instead of just doing a flat 1,000 throughout the entire cut, I think that's excessive.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable to me. If you keep an eye on your hunger and your strength and your joints and things, I think that's a sensible thing to do as a mature, responsible lifter who's got some experience. It's not something I'd recommend a beginner do at all. Something that's absolutely clear. If you've already experienced, you've got some strength and muscle, you know what you're doing, you can listen to your body. I think that's a viable way to do it, yeah. If you keep an eye on the scale as well.
Okay, thanks a lot, Chris. I'll be off now. Those are all my questions.
All right, thanks, man. Take it easy.
Thank you very much, Joe. Really do appreciate you. Thanks for asking the question. You can stay as a speaker if you want to, or you can go back to the audience. Cool. Next person is... Your name isn't showing up because I'm in streamer mode.
Hello.
Hey, dude. How you doing?
Hey, so sorry for disconnecting earlier. It was my PC bugging. So I have a question. Is it like safe to take MK on 60 years old?
I would say no. I wouldn't recommend that at all.
Oh, alright. Thanks so much.
No worries.
Wait, Chris, probably give the reasons why, just because the thank you very much was probably very like, yeah, I'll probably ask someone else. So yeah, okay.
I just want to check if I'm okay to talk about it, that's all.
As long as you're not promoting anything, just give something educational and censor where necessary. Is C still here, or did he just leave? No.
Okay, so he asked about MK, which is short for MK677, which is a SARM, selective androgen receptor modulator, which is technically illegal, but it's a very grey area legally, and it's edging more towards what we would call assisted or juicing or steroid use. Okay, so I wouldn't recommend that for anyone in general, but especially as someone who's young and developing. If you are 16, you want to be setting a strong foundation. You want to get some really good habits for training, for diet, for sleep, all sorts of healthy lifestyle to set you up for a strong, balanced, healthy physique later on in life. If you are doing something additional things, assistance like this way, I'd recommend waiting until you're already a developed lifter. At least 5 years of hard training, everything established, know what you're doing, know your body, and be aware of the risks beforehand. If you're 16, your body is still developing, this is the time to be putting in a foundation to get yourself strong and fit and healthy rather than trying to jump ahead using this. If you really want to go down this route, you want to check it out properly, talk about experts in the field. I'm not an expert in this. And make sure you're doing it under supervision, ideally, and make sure it's after you've been training for a good period of time and your body's fully developed. So if you're 16, I say train hard for 5 years. When you get to 21, maybe you think about this, but it's never going to be my suggestion to take it at all.
Yeah, drugs are bad. Okay, South Park reference.
Okay, was that a joke? Was that a pun? Was that a pun?
Yeah. 500 IQ.
There.
Cool. Does anybody else have any other question, guys? Feel free to raise your hand. If it's something that you need re-clarifying, go ahead. Chris is here. We can't have an interactive podcast today, unfortunately, because I am still sick. Not as sick as I was last week, but still kind of sick. I've got a cold. So Lau,
he's really trying to worry. He's really worried about the numbers. That's all. He's really worried about his chances in the competition.
Dude, I've won twice. So anybody who doesn't know what's going on, there's been like an ongoing push-up competition. Everyone who's been winning, I won every single time. This guy Chris is always finding a new way to cheat, whether he's doing off reps or spending time like pausing on the way up, just going down, pausing and going down. It's all on VOD. Check out the streams on twitch.tv/AOKink. I never get that one wrong because I'm plugging myself. Cool. Does anybody else have any questions? If not, we can switch to the in-server questions. Abe, thank you very much, dude. I really appreciate it. And guys, if you asked a question before, you can still ask more questions. Don't be shy. It makes for really good podcasting, and we do appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, I was wondering what the best way to get lung capacity up, because I realized that I get out of breath really quick, so I thought that was probably lung capacity. So what's the best way to improve that?
Sure, awesome question. The best way to build lung capacity is going to be through some slow and steady cardio. So nothing too intense. Don't be looking at high intensity interval training. Don't be going for full out sprints and things. The best way to do it is to build up a steady, stable base of cardio fitness for your lung capacity. So that's going to be through what we call zone 2 cardio. So the kind of cardio you can do in which you can have a conversation during it, but the other person's going to know you're exercising. So if you want a heart rate range, we can say between 130 and 150, but basically just not too hard in cardio, and do that for probably half an hour, 2 or 3 times a week, then steadily build it up, and that's going to really build up your lung capacity and also your training capacity over time without draining you, without making you too tired, and without affecting your muscle building workouts as well. So 2 to 3 easy-ish cardio sessions a week. Slowly build it up if you want to, but that'll give you a really strong foundation for lung capacity and make you much fitter and harder to kill in general. And he liked it or he didn't because he's gone. And that can be either walking, it can be a very, very slow jog, it can be on a cross trainer, it can be on a rowing machine if you've got much more control than I have, or any kind of exercise that gets your body moving. Cycling, awesome as well. Hope that helps, Abe.
Perfect. Thanks for the question, Abe. Really do appreciate you. Cool. Guys, does anybody else have any other question? It can be general questions as long as fitness or sports adjacent. If not, we'll go to the community questions that people have asked in the server. So any other questions? Oh, someone has raised their hand.
Hand up. Put hand up.
Hey, dude, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you? So, do you hear me? Hello.
I hear you.
Yes, okay. So, I worked out before summer, push, pull, and legs, for around half a year before summer. So afterwards, I took a summer break from gym. I don't know why, but it was just on and off. I didn't work out as I did before summer. Ever since then, I've not worked out once per week, but I don't see any differences from the start. I still have I can still see the muscles. I can still see everything. My weight is the same. It's not like above than what I had before. So I was wondering, how should I get back to working out again properly? Like I did note my workouts, so I have the weights and reps and everything as well.
Okay, no worries. And just to say, breaks happen unintentionally. Life happens in many ways. So if you're not being super consistent all the time, it happens to a lot of people. Glad trying to get back into it. The best way is just to take it a session at a time. So don't try to lift the weights that you did your best weights from before. If you can work the same routine, that'd be good because you know it works for you. And just start low with the weights and build the weights up. I think muscle memory is a very powerful thing. So only once you build muscle, your body is very good at rebuilding it afterwards. It's always hardest to build muscle in the first place. So the best thing you could really do is get back on that routine again. Don't worry about the weight, just get moving and your strength will come back way faster than you'll ever imagine. So just get started again. Don't worry about lifting heavy weights, just get moving and it will come back really quickly.
So for the list, as let's say I did 20 kg of 12 reps before 3 sets.
Mhm.
Should I reduce that? Maybe 2 sets to 10 reps and reduce the weight as well?
Yeah,
Or
I would just go in and start warming up and go from there. So don't have expectations for it. I wouldn't expect to lift in the maximum weight, but just get moving. Maybe start with half the weight, see how it feels for that. Don't push it too hard the first session because that's how you get super, super sore. And then just slowly build it up. Add weight each time, and you'll be passing those numbers before you imagine.
okay.
Just start easy. Always start easy. It's always easier to add after starting easy than it is to go in full tilt.
Okay. Thank you. That should be all then.
You're welcome. Thank you for the question.
Thank you very much, dude. Really do appreciate you. If you have any follow-up questions, feel free to ask. Stay in the panel to keep asking questions. Igor, how are you doing, dude?
It's gonna be Igor, right?
Igor.
Yes.
Is it Igor or Igor? Have I been pronouncing it wrong? Did I pronounce it in the call this morning wrong? Or...
Yeah. Some of my friends, they call me Igor, but Igor generally is probably the more correct way, like Igor.
So I'm right and I was wrong. Brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Yes, that time Chris was right. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, my question is, when you planning your fitness program or fitness strategy and you're keeping on it, do you use some sort of devices like smart watch that showing you how much calories you burning during the day, and do you rely on it, or mostly your program is some sort of intuition based or some general knowledge, for example, from some sources where is written how many calories in each food, and you're just counting that? Yeah, my question is, do you use gadgets in your fitness program, in your fitness plan?
Sure, good question. A lot of people do. I don't personally. I just keep an eye on my steps as on my phone. I trust that. But it's always useful to have more information as long as you don't get lost in it too much. It's useful for heart rate. For example, I use a heart rate monitor when I'm doing cardio, so I can keep an eye on my heart rate for that. I do think having smart devices are very helpful. It can be very useful for tracking sleep, for example. And if you have any medical conditions, obviously, it's very helpful for that. I don't have my clients use them necessarily, but I do ask them to keep an eye on their step count and general activity during the day.
Okay. Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
Do you have any more questions about that, or reasons, or anything to go into? Ayo's got something. He's flexing.
Oh, I is using.
Yeah, I use them. It's always good. You don't have to use them. I personally found it beneficial, especially if you set personal targets. If you work a stationary job, for example, if you're a software engineer, etc., it helps a lot because you might not understand how inactive you've been. So setting daily. Oh, why isn't it showing on the screen? Jesus Christ! And it keeps locking me out So setting daily goals and making sure that you're reaching above 1K calories, or setting calories goals and stuff like that for you to do, or just even heart rate monitor, just to make sure that you're not literally wasting your entire day sitting on your desk, especially if you work remotely or work in an office. You might end up realizing that you literally burnt next to no calories. And then, yeah, it's good in general, just for, I'll probably say just for tracking, keeping yourself competitive, motivating yourself, and also getting estimates. Also understand that these things aren't 100% accurate. So don't feel oh no, you wanted to do 1,000 calories, burnt a day or whatever, and it's only 888 or whatever. You're going to be all right. So yeah, that's my answer to that. Hopefully it helps, gives you insight.
Yeah. For me, it's approximately the same. I heard that they're not accurate, but I feel I feel better than I see numbers are higher than usual. It made me feel that I made a good job for a day or for a week, especially if you see the data which is collected for several days. Yes. Yeah. It gives you some sort of motivational feeling that you work hard and you're a winner, something like that. Yeah.
100% agree. It can be really motivating, definitely.
Yeah.
I just want to quickly
you.
add. You're welcome, man. Absolutely. I just want to quickly add on that if you're doing a lot of intense cardio, or you've got if you have long distance running goals or anything like that, you're doing lots of endurance training, it can be really useful to have sort of tracking. You can do HRV tracking, you can do resting heart rate, you can do your working heart rate. If you're doing things like that, it's really more important to be able to track your heart rate for different cardio zones. But outside of that, like we've covered here with Igor and Ayo, it can be really motivational to have something to do right and to get going, or I've done a really good job. It can be really useful for that. Thank you for the question, Igor.
Yep. Thanks.
Thank you very much, dude. Yeah, feel free to ask another question if you need to. Listen to the rest of the podcast to the very end. Really do appreciate you. And thanks for joining. I've been seeing you join frequently. But yeah, there's no interactive podcast today. Maybe next week. Chris has got more time to train.
Not so Ayo thinks he can win.
Yeah, Chris, you've literally had 2 weeks. If you lose and I come back from sickness and I still win,
I come back from sickness. Man, it's not a Good Friday. Chill out.
Right. So, guys, does anybody else have any other questions? Don't be shy. Feel free to raise your hand. If you need anything reclarifying, go ahead. If it's something that you vaguely have an idea or you want a second opinion, you can ask in text chat if you don't want to come out to the voice chat. We'll get to that eventually. Yeah, we will probably get to form check. But firstly, let's do the... Yeah, we can do form check. Joker, you have to speak if we do form check. And is it possible for you to... You know what? It might be easier if you screen share your video. Everybody's sick, mate. It's full. Man up. Join. Right. Could you screen share your video? And it will probably be easier this way. And then rather than...
If you can't speak, it's fine, man. We get it.
Yeah, just screen share your video at least.
Go full, no doubt, it's fine.
Cheers, mate. Cool. While everyone's waiting, thank you very much, guys, for joining. Feel free to make sure to support Chris on all platforms. STR first. Remember, it is in Strike Force. It is in Strike First. It is Strength First. STR first on all platforms. And also, huge shout out to Boost Camp. Thank you very much. Oh, I can hear myself twice. Dude, mute your tab.
1A is plenty. 1A was plenty.
No, I heard like 3 Chris's at that point.
We can see it, yeah. I think you're still got audio playing. I can hear myself.
Yeah, you've got audio playing, mate. Just mute yourself.
Just mute yourself.
Mute the mic.
Testing. No, we're still not muted. We're still going. Mute that mic.
Just click on mute mic. Bruh.
Hey, can you help out with support? Can you help out?
Wait. Oh, fuck it. You have to go on Chrome, mate. And mute the tab. Yeah, just stop screen sharing. Wait. Actually, I could. There's a functionality for me to mute the sound from him. Dude, no, stay screen share. I can just mute you. I think it's server mute, but on server mute you. No. It's the feedback loop of the Discord. So basically, the Discord is playing from your screen sharing. But screen share again, I'll just server mute you. It's okay. Just screen share. I'll server mute you. Remind me to on server mute you. No, I can still freaking hear it. Hello?
Testing.
Hello? Who's it coming from? No, it's him. It's you, Joker. Yeah, go to Chrome.
Could hear Ayo's voice by night.
Yeah, I can hear you like 3 times, mate.
Go to Chrome.
Oh, is it coming from the stream? Do you have the stream open in the background? Do you have the stream like open up in like a different tab or something? Oh. Also, firstly, appreciate you for watching the stream, Let's get those Twitch viewerships up. One day. Okay, cool. We can't hear ourselves 3 times. Cool. Now just screen share your video. Yeah, a lot better.
Nice. Had the audio on. Yeah, we know, man. We know. Thank you for being.
And he's Gen Z as well, man. Freaking acting like a boomer. Like, what's going on?
Like he's 63. gonna quickly invert my neck real quick. We're patiently, we're being patient. We're gonna go good low bar position. Nice equal shoulders. Elbows are in, supporting the bar well. Is it in slow motion for everyone else or just me? Alright, we're messing around a little bit with the feet. I would rather see a more confident walkout. Ideally, rack 1, 2, 3, set the legs. It should be good to squat there. You don't waste any power or tightness there, but it's not a problem. We can work on that. We're bracing, we're going down. We're definitely hitting depth there. Some very good depth. Back staying strong. Bar position staying steady. Going straight down again, yeah. Get those hamstrings involved. Staying strong, back staying tight. We're getting some air. We're going to brace again, which is good. Want to get your air in between reps at the top. Don't get your air at the bottom, get your air at the top and hold it through the rep as much as you can. If you have to release the air, do it on the positive and do as slowly as possible. And locking it out. Yep. Good with that. Am I being super slow, or is it just a very slow video for me? Or just for everyone else?
No, it's normal pace for me. Hey, yeah, how you doing?
Yep, solid.
You can see the infinity screen. Ooh. Do you have any other videos, mate?
Hey, you're talking to me, you muted.
Oh, fuck. Okay, that was kind of cringe. I was basically saying I could see the infinity screen. I was like, hey, how you doing? And I was like, whatever. Right. Do you have any other videos, mate? Let's just quickly move on. That never happened.
Yeah, is it just me? Is it going like 1 frame a minute?
No, it was all right on my screen. Okay, cool. If we don't have any other form check.
To me, it's just going like a
hey, Lau, how you doing? On the way to the gym. You at the gym now?
Literally, I've got a pounding headache. I fucking did my sets of deadlifts and just left.
Oh,
I was literally about to throw up.
No, we didn't get the Lau cam. That would have been so good. We should make it an iconic thing. You know what? Entertain us for a bit. How's your day been? How's your day been? Let us know how your day's been.
I had work at 7 a.m. and I just had a headache throughout the entire work day. Decided to go to the gym. It made it worse. The deadlifts made it worse. And now I'm walking home after skipping all of my gym stuff today.
They call it deadlift for a reason, mate. If you ain't dead, you didn't lift.
All right, I wanted to ask something about that actually. Do I carry on with the rest of the workout the next time I'm in, or just go to the next day?
Okay, Chris isn't here. So what I would say is get some rest. If you're sick, there's no point risking it. Chris is here, and he's probably just going to say everything I said. Hey, Chris, welcome back. Hello, Chris. Oh, yeah, I need to server unmute Joker. And thanks for watching the stream, by the way, Joker. That's actually bonus points. MVP. A huge shout out to the server MVP. Shout out to Geo, even though he rage quitted. And shout out to Joker. Wait, did I on server mute? Yeah, okay, I need to unmute you again. Okay, Chris is having technical difficulties. It's all right. Lau, just keep telling us about your day. How's your week been? Ooh, did you see the Northern Lights? Apparently we could see them.
Oh, I wanted to.
No.
I wanted to. I was trying to get... I got my driving test next week, but if I had it like last week and passed, I would have like been able to go up to like this hill near my town and just seen it or something.
Oh, no. Wait, didn't you have like local like hills in like parks and stuff?
Yeah, near my area.
Yeah. Yeah, I just went to a park. A bunch of people were there. It was kind of crowded. And you couldn't really see it unless you took like a picture, which was so annoying. Chris, did you see the Northern Lights? Welcome back.
Yes, I did.
This
Yeah.
was
Yeah, nice.
let me
Nice.
send you a photo. This was from like the first time we had the Northern Lights.
Oh,
I
okay.
saw that.
Nice. Can someone explain what the Northern Lights is? Dumb it down. Imagine I don't know what it is. I obviously know what it is, but just in case.
Dumb it down, but call it the actual name, Aurora Borealis.
Okay, what is it? Smart ass.
I
Explain.
don't know. I don't know. The smart name of it.
Yeah, that's why it's always never good to be a smart ass. Anyway, feel free to ask your question. Welcome back, Chris. And yeah.
Hello, friends. Sorry, I got my Discord completely crashed on my laptop.
Goddamn, that's crazy.
Lau, ask your question. Chris is back.
Yeah. Wait. That you answered it technically, but okay, I'll ask again. So I've had a massive headache the whole day, but I decided to go to the gym anyways, and did like all of my sets of my main lift, which was deadlift. But then afterwards, I started to feel like I was gonna throw up like any given moment. But the next time I go to the gym, would you say to carry on with the rest of my like accessory work, I guess, or just go to the next day?
Go next.
Okay.
I
Did you
don't
go
think
next?
it's worth trying to diplo over it. Yeah, just go next. Treat it as a bad day. Make sure you make a note of it, but I'd rather see you stick to the main program than try to play catch up, because that's how you get into complications and like, accidentally accumulate too much volume. So
Alright.
always, the plan is always to stick with the plan. Just call it a bad day. Hope you feel better now, by the way, and then just go next. Carry on, stay strong. Missing the assistance isn't the end of the world, but it's also not something you want to do all the time. So just go next.
Alright. Did you go next? It's only week 2 anyway.
Oh, so good. What did AO say? Did AO say the opposite?
I said exactly what you said. What's wrong with this kid? Even though you're older than me. Yeah. Thank you very much, Lau. Guys, if you have any other questions, feel free to ask. You can use text chats if you need to. We have Chris. Chris has a years worth of experience. You know, he's a personal trainer with in-depth expertise in different areas. So don't be shy. Ask your questions. Yeah, years worth of trolling.
Well over a decade of that.
Nice. We have a question. Celine, feel free to ask your question.
Hello. I'm
Hi,
kind of a beginner. I have like 2 questions.
Go for it.
Okay, my first question is I'm trying out Jeff Nippard's Comeback Bridge program, and studying it more. So I was thinking if is macro factor worth it?
Is what, sorry, worth it?
Macro factor, yeah.
Is this
The
a
macro
type
tracking app.
macro factor? Is this like a diet frame? What kind of this? Sorry, the context for this.
It's a calorie tracker.
Oh, it's a tracker. Okay, then yeah, I think macro is decent. Sorry, I thought I missed something with Jeff Nippard's things. Then yeah, macro factor is absolutely fine. It's a way to keep track of your calories, and it seems quite accurate. Similar to other things. So yeah, it's good to use. Yeah, absolutely.
I see. Okay, my second question is, are there any common myths or misconceptions that I should be aware of as a beginner?
Where do we begin? Yeah, there are absolutely loads. Why watching horses? This is crazy. Yeah, as a beginner, people will give you lots of advice. People will say to bulk up, make sure you have to eat loads and loads of calories to get bulk up, make muscle in the first place. You can't, which isn't true. You can't rush muscle gain. Eating more and more will not just make you gain more and more muscle, or else everyone would do it. So make sure you have your calories in check. Have a slight surplus if you're trying to build some muscle. But having a 1,000, 2,000 calorie surplus is not going to build more muscle faster. That's not going to work. Another very common one, people will say, don't do cardio, it'll kill your gains. That's not true at all. If you do some low intensity cardio each week, that's actually really good for you. It can build up your work capacity so you can actually train harder and build more muscle. So cardio will not kill your gains. People will say you need to have incredibly high amounts of protein. That's not actually true. Aim for around your body weight in grams. That's plenty of protein for most people. And people will say if you don't spend 4 hours in the gym a day, you don't care about your progress, you're not working very hard. It's also not true. Follow a proper routine like you got one already from Jeff Nippard, that's great, but you don't need to spend 4 hours in the gym, that's silly. And one more, what have I got? people will say machines are useless. You should only use compounds. You shouldn't use barbells and things. That's also not true. Any kind of resistance training is valid. It's good to have a mix within your routine. So don't be afraid of using, for example, a chest press machine. Don't be afraid of using a cable for curls or anything. All sorts of training are valid. And you can also do bodyweight training as well. There's none that is particularly better than the other. It's good to be versed in all types of training, and it's good to have a mix throughout your routine. Hopefully that was not too much. And I think we spoke earlier, working on triceps, on you.
Okay.
Did you comment on your tricep picture earlier in the fitness chat? Was that you?
Yeah.
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 Oh, cool. Thank you for joining the podcast. Hope that's helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for asking a question. Feel free to stay to the very end. Really do appreciate you. Lau, you lost. Because you've been walking for a while. No, I mean, are you lost in general? You know your way home. Are you safe?
A 40-minute walk away from my gym, so.
Okay. Don't you have like a bike or a transit or something? I mean, you could jog home. Consider that as
jump on one of those horse-drawn carriages, couldn't you? Jump on one of those.
Yeah.
My town is full of hills, so the walk is fine.
Okay, that's all right. Cool.
I walk constantly. Yeah.
That's good. Cool.
And my bike, I've got PTSD or something. I've had a bike crash.
Oh, I remember that. Is that the one where you fell down the hill? Sorry about that, mate.
Oh, the horses are back.
Horses?
There's horses.
We saw the horses before.
I don't want to, like...
You live in a quaint area.
Where it lives in the medieval ages. Like, what was it?
Yeah, my town's full of, I don't know, people get offended over the word traveler. No, the G word for the word traveler.
Don't ban me on Twitch. Don't ban me on Twitch, please.
It's not even a slur.
No, but we don't know anymore. Everything is dangerous territory. You can't say it. Yeah.
It's like the most common word in this town.
Yeah, but no. I'm straight.
We're moving on quickly.
I don't know.
Quickly moving on.
Wait, what? What did Chris say? Made it really super.
So then we're moving on.
Oh, and we're moving on. Guys, does anybody have any other questions? Feel free to raise your hand if you do have a question. Come up to the panel to ask your question. Biggs, welcome, Biggs. I didn't notice you. Biggs, you have a question? Feel free to ask a question. Let's keep the podcast entertaining. Entertain us, Biggs. Even though you're probably just waking up. Yo, dude, how you doing? How you doing, man?
Yo, I'm doing good. I just woke up.
What the fuck? That's a gremlin. What's going on?
That's a cookie monster.
Wait, do you have a cold or something? Are you sick?
No, I just woke up. I always sound like this when I wake up.
Nice. Razor blades.
Question. Shoot.
Or just a message to the masses.
Message to the masses. Oh well, I don't actually have a message, but to update. I wanted to update you and Chris, anyways, on what's been going on after the comp.
Yeah, please do.
So my back, I've been having back problems for the last 2 years ish. They did a MRI, they did a CT scan and an X-ray these past 2 years. They never found anything. They did a CT scan on my back and found that I have multiple herniated discs.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, so I've been dealing with that the last 2 years, which makes it more impressive that I got through it, of course. But I'm glad that I finally have like a diagnosis on what's been going on. So I'm just giving my CNS a break from major compounds and just working on building muscle. You know what I mean? But it looks like we're getting surgery soon, so we should see.
Okay, sure. Well, I'm glad you've managed to pinpoint what it is, and that's so you set the world record with herniated discs. You're saying?
Yeah.
Just add that in. Just pick up a bit more. Pick up a little bit more. Very casual. Yeah. Okay, man. I'm glad you're gonna get it sorted.
No,
is that gonna be?
I'm very, very excited. Like I don't know. It's like random tasks that I'll be doing throughout the day, and I'll get pain. So I'm very, very happy that like we finally have a diagnosis to be able to treat it. And I'd rather get the surgery now than later on in my life when it's harder to recover. You know what I mean?
That's the right decision.
I'm excited, man. I'm super excited to build at least a little bit of muscle too. It gives me time to hop a little bit into the hypertrophy, you know, little scene instead of the whole powerlifting stuff. So it's nice to get a little break.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad you're looking at it from a positive perspective as well. I think it's good to look at something that could be seen as bad as an opportunity instead, which is really cool.
Look at all the bad bands. I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
Keep it ongoing.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate y'all, man. Seriously.
Yeah,
This is great
no one.
community.
I don't know why Lobster's making fun of the injury or whatever, but we were making fun of the voice, and then you dropped that on us, and it was like, okay, yeah.
Lobster just
Yeah, Lobster's like a sensitive topic. He's talking about going to surgery, and he's like making fun of him. Like, okay.
Hey, I appreciate y'all, man. This is the greatest. This is the greatest community in
Yes.
Discord right now. So y'all better join up.
Yeah, thank you very
Appreciate
much,
that.
dude. Yeah, heal up.
Of
Yeah.
course.
And thanks
I'm
for
gonna talk to
joining.
y'all soon.
See you, man.
Of course.
Get some rest. Perfect. Cool. Yeah, Lobster is a wild boy. He's talking about surgery, dude. Why are you making fun of an injury? He's talking about potentially getting a surgery. Oh gosh, this Lobster
Yeah,
kid.
we have some text questions if that's allowed.
Oh, there is a guy who raised his hand multiple times and left. We are not ignoring you.
Just ignored it.
Did he leave? Yeah, you can
Sure, Marcus.
answer. Yeah, it's the
Marcus?
Dynasto. Welcome. Ask your question. Join the stage. Yeah, you can answer the text question while we wait for the guy.
Big, you gotta check the VOD for this, for your voice. You gotta check the VOD. If not, we'll go to the text questions, which is about kettlebells, I think.
Yeah. Answer the text question. I'm waiting for this guy. I think he joins and then raises his hand, and I think he thinks we're ignoring him.
Yeah. Marcus, I see you. MOCCUS _. And there's a question about kettlebells, I believe. I just want to check your original question because I think you typed a few times. Okay, so you asked, can kettlebells help burn fat and build muscle? The answer is yes. Kettlebells are. I don't often talk about kettlebells. There's a bit of a controversy within the fitness community about kettlebells, which is a bit blown out of proportion. It's mostly based for people thinking they're the best thing in the world when in reality they're just another tool. So just treat kettlebells as a tool like dumbbells. They're differently shaped, and that's fine. They're good. They're better for some exercises based on just the shape of them. But you can absolutely use them to burn fat and build muscle. Treat them as any other resistance training. People like to do kettlebell swings, particularly useful for that. That can be really good exercise to work your lung capacity, work your hamstrings, work your abs, work your back. You can absolutely build muscle and burn fat using kettlebells. But remember, they're just a tool. They're not a magic bullet. They're just a way to exercise, which can be great if you do it properly. You can look into being a kettlebell specialist. I know that it was a thing a while ago, people really going into kettlebell specialities and things. You can do things like Turkish sit-ups, get-ups with them. You can do all sorts of fun games with them, mess around with them. Yeah, absolutely. They're a good tool to use. They're not the best thing. They're not the worst thing. They are simply one tool among many. If that's all you have available, you can absolutely use them to build muscle and burn fat. And I'm just going to quickly check. Another question there. While in a calorie deficit, how do you deal with that feeling of hunger? So a few ways to deal with it. Unfortunately, at some point, if you are in a heavy calorie deficit, you're probably getting a little bit hungry. I will say make sure you drink plenty of fluids, ideally calorie-free fluids. Water, obvious one there, but also don't be afraid to have things like Diet Coke and things. If that will kill a sweet craving, that's not going to kill you. If you are feeling hungry, you may want to reevaluate what you're eating. You want to do some more food that are less dense in calories. So that means you have fewer calories per mouthful, for example, to eat. A key example would be if you have a piece of chocolate, it's going to have very high in calories for a very small amount of food to eat, compared to, say, a big green salad that's going to have a lot of food to eat, lots of mouthfuls, lots of chewing to do with very few calories. So the best way to do that is to replace the high density calories with low density. So for example, instead of having, say, a cheeseburger, you could have chicken breast. You can have a lot more lean chicken breast. That'll fill you up a lot more for the same calories as in a burger. Other ways to do this could be instead of having pasta, you could have baked potatoes, boiled potatoes. They're going to fill you up much fewer calories. The best way to deal with hunger is to reshape your diet, make sure you're drinking lots of water, make sure you're getting plenty of protein, because protein is very satiating. You want lean protein in this case because it's going to have, like we said, a lower calorie density. So instead of having, say, a steak, you could have some chicken breast or also chicken thigh. That would be a good way to deal with hunger and hopefully make it less unpleasant when you're trying to lose weight. Okay, this is 13 to 17. Yeah, so you shouldn't really try to cut too much as a 13 to 17-year-old anyway. This is a great time to reevaluate your diet, learn to eat some healthy foods, and instead focus on eating healthy. Don't try to have a calorie deficit. Instead, try to eat good foods, nutritious foods, like all the things I mentioned still apply to you. Learn on having good dietary habits, try to have protein each meal, have some vegetables or greens, have some low density, relatively unprocessed starch with it, like a baked potato. You could have rice, that's a good choice. Pasta's not the end of the world, and just learn to have better dietary choices, train hard, lift some weights, do some cardio. Don't worry about having a severe deficit. This isn't a time to try to lose too much weight. It's a time to get good dietary habits and build foundation for going forward. I'm ignoring Lobster, is that true? Okay, Lobster's question. What's your view on short aggressive cuts like 6 to 8 weeks to re-establish body fat before bulking again? Okay, this is a caveat. This is not something you should be considering unless you are an experienced lifter already. If you are a new lifter, if you're not very experienced, you should be doing a low and slow calorie deficit. You shouldn't be doing aggressive cuts. Lobster's question is for people who have a lot of muscle already, who know their body well, who are quite strong, and this is more of an aesthetics idea, really. I think it can work. I think there's a place for it if you keep an eye on it very carefully. I don't think that 6 to 8 weeks is enough to really meaningfully lose any muscle, but I will say be aware of how it affects your lifting. I think it's possible if you're being supervised and doing it properly. I do prefer 6 to 8 weeks is good. I don't like this Joe Delaney, I'm doing a 3-week micro cut and bollocks. I say that, I said it anyway. I don't believe having anything shorter than that. I think 6 to 8 weeks is enough time to actually lose a bit of fat, and then go back into the bulk. Yeah, I think that's reasonable for an experienced lifter who knows what their body and knows what they're doing. I think that's very reasonable. Mr. Clean getting the codes out there. Good stuff. Cool, I think that's all the questions for now, really. Who's doing 240 for 10?
Perfect. So if there's not any other question, damn, finished the podcast under an hour, world record. Guys, last minute questions. Feel free to ask your question. You're welcome to come up to the panel to ask a question. You know what? I'm going to be very special. You can come up to the panel to do a plug. Anyone who has anything that's going on fitness related, we don't want to know about your OF or whatever you do in your spare time, right? If you've got anything going on, you're competing, you're doing anything, you've got anything going on, feel free to join.
Where's Alvin?
Alvin is probably busy. Yeah. Oh yeah, Alvin. He's normally here first, isn't he?
He's always here before everyone.
Yeah, who was here before everyone? Was it Lobster? Holy shit, no way. Because I did see Lobster. Yeah, Lobster.
Viking was here. Clean was here. I thought Clean was first, I think.
Who was
Clean
first?
Viking, then Lobster.
No, it might have been Lobster. I'll have to check the logs. Nah. Clean was kind of Biggs, bro. You just woke up.
Got a quick question here in this questions.
Sure.
Easy 8. Is it possible to cut without micro? Without micro what? Easy 8. What do you mean without micro?
I think it means without tracking your macros.
Counting calories.
Right.
It is possible to cut without counting calories, but if you are new to lifting and new to training, it's a good idea to track to start with. Then you can then keep an eye on it and know what you're doing. For example, if I'm going to lose weight, I don't count my calories, but that's because I know what I eat and what's in the calories I eat, so I can do it that way. So it's useful to be able to do it, and you can cut without counting your calories, but it's a good thing to be able to do. As long as you can be consistently hitting the target calorie goals. If you can do that without counting, that's absolutely fine. It just gives you a bit more consistency, and if you do hit a wall, you could then say, right, if this amount hasn't worked, I can then change it to this amount to be more scientific about it. But it's not essential at all, no. Simply eat less, lose more, you know. And for some people, that's a much better way to look at it. So when I start with most people, they're very new to lifting, they're new to exercise, to fitness. I don't have people count their calories to start with because we're focused on building better habits and losing, like we said before, eating less calorie-dense foods and having a calorie deficit that way rather than intentionally eating less in that way. Lobster chan. How often do you bump into furniture or walls by accident? What's that meant to mean? What does that mean?
Chris Rich, there's an actual question by Celine.
Oh, thanks, Biz. That's fine. I've managed to live my life first before managed cows. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Okay, Celine, hello. My heart will go on. 600 calories. Is this nutrition distributed for a 14-year-old on recomposition? Okay. Okay. I'm always wary about giving calorie suggestions for people who are not adults, but we'll have a quick look. Not a doctor in this. 1600 calories, 15. Are you a 14-year-old girl? Which I presume you are from everything I hear, everything I can see here. I don't think your protein needs to be that high at all. I don't know how much you weigh, for example, but that protein seems very high for a 14-year-old, to be honest. I'd rather see more fats predominantly. If you are a teenage girl, you need to be having fats for your hormone production or your body growing. You need to have more fats, in my opinion, and more carbs. You don't need to have the protein that high. Yeah, so I'd rather see you have less protein, to be honest. It doesn't need to be above 100, in all honesty, and then have more fats. Add the calories you've lost from you gained from the protein into fats and carbs. Yeah, don't worry about anything like that. That's absolutely fine. And then go by feel, and if you feel like crap, add some calories for goodness sake. I don't really like advising teenagers, especially that young, to lose weight, but if this is going to work for you, you need to keep an eye on it. And then Easy's got a question for you, Ayo.
Yo, what's the question? Keep me awake.
Sorry, we're keeping you up. Sorry.
No. You've been amazing. You've been absolutely amazing. 10 out of 10. Guys, remember, it isn't strike force. It isn't strike first. It is strength first. Make sure to support Chris STR first on all platforms. Welcome, Lau. How are you doing? Did you get home safely? Or did you get hit by a carriage?
No, I went to a Chippy. No, I went to a Chippies, but there had no service in there.
Okay. What did you get?
Two sausages.
We're going to do. Yes, I might, but I might fall asleep easy. So I'll probably catch the highlights or the replay. But yeah, it's it's free to watch, right? It's not pay-per-view.
Viewing party.
Yeah, we can do a viewing party in the server. I might fall asleep while it's on. I don't know why they always put all these like boxing matches where it's ridiculous time in England. Yeah, you can host a viewing party since it's free.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, Lau, cut you off. How you doing, dude? What did you get in your order? He's crashed. He's gone.
It's a fight all over again.
No, Lau. We've lost him. He's been kidnapped by. What can we actually say? Strangers? Or
I don't think we do.
Okay, we don't.
I don't think we do.
By tourists. We'll say tourists.
Yeah.
Perfect. Cool. Not doing the text. Yeah, we're doing text questions. Clean, did you have a question? We've been doing text questions. Do you have a question, mate? Feel free to ask it or link us. Yeah, go ahead, mate. Go ahead. Let me just mute myself.
Finally, good God. Mr. Clean, the stage is yours, or the text is yours. I think we've done the other text questions, so if you have one. Okay, right. Sorry, God. We're ignoring Lobster's rude one above that. Got a question. I'm 6'3", 192.5 pounds at the moment. Okay. I was going to cut until 90, so it's £2.5, but I am now debating 180. Either way, when I hit my goal, how long should I maintain before bulking, etc.? That will depend on a lot of things. Generally, I feel clients do better if they have if they're cutting for a longer time, it's better to maintain for a while just to get your body used to that. So 190 or 180 are fine targets to go for, depending how you feel. I'd recommend staying there for at least a month, really, and just to get more used to it, get used to eating more calories, get used to your body chance to adapt to it, and then go into a bulking phase after that if you want to. But again, quickly add, no one needs to be bulking all the time. If you're happy with how muscular you are, you're welcome to maintain. That's not a problem. Just keep training hard. And yeah, everyone needs to be the most muscular person in the entire world. But I'd say around a month, just see how it goes. Just to give your body a chance to get used to new foods again and the additional calories. You probably, when you stop cutting, you'll probably gain weight quite quickly from water weight, then it'll adjust down again. So give it around a month, I'd say. And I was scrolling. A year, 9 months. Yeah, so I give it at least a month and just see how it goes from that. Lost 55 kilos. Super impressive, man. Really impressive. Yeah, I'll give it at least a month and then go from there. If you want to go into a bulk after that, ease into it. But I give your body a chance to just recover before going from one extreme to the other, basically. You don't want to swing too much. The pendulum. Awesome. Is that all? Are we happy? Are we content? Any more questions? Yeah, good call, Mr. Clean. Yeah, I keep quite a tight window, really, if I were you. But yeah, it sounds good. That's reasonable percentage-wise. That's about a 5% increase. So yeah, that's fine. No worries. And Easy 8's typing. Currently no abs. Hey, powerlifting, but I feel like I should cut next year. Yeah, it's totally fine, man. No one needs to be super shredded. No one needs to be doing it in particular. If you feel better and you want to feel more comfortable, that's great. But don't feel like you have to do it for aesthetics or because everyone else is cutting with super lean abs. It's not that important to you. It's more important to be healthy and fit and strong than be super lean. I'm afraid drain my strength. It won't drain your strength if you do it sensibly and take your time with it. And we can give you tips for that, no worries. If it gets to that point, give us a call, give us a chat, and we'll sort it out for you, no worries. There's no need to lose strength when you lose fat. When you lose strength from cutting, it's because you're either excessively heavy to start with, or because you've tried to cut too quickly and irresponsibly. Losing fat should not take away from your strength. To clean, I might just do 180 pounds as my goal, then maintain for a month or two, and then bulk up to 2. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan to me, Mr. Clean. I'm happy with that. If you got that rate of growth, that will take you quite a long time to exceed that, so you can keep an eye on it. That sounds good, yeah. I'd be very happy with that. Obviously, keeping a track of the weight as you go, which you are, so that's fine. Awesome. Unless Easy 8 has one more comment for me, I think that's a wrap.
Perfect. Thank you very much, everyone. Really do appreciate you. Thank you. Huge thanks to Chris. Guys, make sure to support Chris as he's supporting us. Remember, it is in Strike Force. It is in Strike First. It is SDR First on all platforms. Support Chris. If you have any question, any personal questions, feel free to DM him or ask the questions in the question section of the server. Huge shout out to Boostcamp for sponsoring us. Guys, feel free to check out really cool workout routines. You know, you can get the Spider-Man one, you can get the Batman one, and sound like Biggs and potentially also look like him as well. So Boostcamp, shout out to Boostcamp for sponsoring us. And also, huge shout out to Yuki here. Thank you very much for supporting the server, Yuki here. For any of the weebs, weeaboos, and all you cringe manga-loving losers with your Narutos and your Dragon Ball Z and is Luffy one day going to catch all the Pokemons, carry your horses and go to Yuki here server, discord.gg/Yuki here. Yuki is a VTuber, also a fan of anime, manga, and all these other stuff. Have fun there.
And a great guy.
Yeah, really great guy. Really great guy. Yeah, thank you very much, everyone who stayed to the very end. If I am missing anything, I really do apologize. Thanks to everyone who was, holding down the podcast early on. We're building a bit of an audience. Oh, the VOD. If you do want the VOD, I shout out everything but myself. I'm so humble, he says while bragging about himself.
So humble. So humble.
So humble.
Here are 12 links.
The first thing the most humble person says. Guys, if you want to catch up the full VOD, check it out on twitch.tv/AOKing. They would also be uploaded on YouTube, on the Twitch, and also in the podcast channel. Thank you very much, guys. Really do appreciate you. Hope you have a great weekend. Have fun, make friends, talk in the voice chat channels. See you all. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye. 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 Fuck off.
Leave.
Losers.
Everyone get out.
Get out of here.